Hey guys, what's up? Justin here. Happy New Year and welcome to 2018. So we are going to get straight into this. We're going to make 2018 the difference maker year for you. We're going to make sure that this year we get you to all your business goals. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, there's some things you've got to get rid of and there's certain things you've got to then insert. What most people do, the reason they don't get any good success habits or success rituals is because even if you identify the things you need to stop doing, a lot of people will do the work to take those things out, but they won't then replace those with alternative, empowering, productive behaviors and rituals instead. And you've got to do both. As you see, you can't just add on the good stuff and keep the bad stuff there. And likewise, you can't remove all the bad stuff, but not replace it with the good stuff, the good habits, the good productivity, the good parts of business that you need in place. So we're going to take about 20 or 30 minutes here. I'm going to show you how quick and simple this actually is with the right guidance. And in real time here today, I'm just mapping out my an updated organizational chart for my company. Going to go through my some company goals. Going to go through how I'm going to organize my team, how I set cash flow targets, things like that. This is really high level stuff, guys, but I just want to show you this quickly, how I'm doing it, so you can actually look over my shoulder. I already started the chart, but I'm going to walk you guys through it, and then I'm going to complete the rest of it with you watching me here, so you get total transparency of how I'm doing this. And to put this into context for you guys, this is only one business. This is not my entire businesses overall. We've got different gyms, different marketing agencies, things like that. But this is the Expert Business Blueprint business, let's say. So this is really, my work right now, planning around the launch of my new Expert Business Blueprint mentoring program. And basically the goal, to keep it super simple, the goal is to make this a $1 million revenue course in 2018. So we're starting from zero. Okay, I'll open the program back in November, but we're pretty much starting from zero, and I'm going to show you how I'm structuring things to scale this up. So this program, I'll have the team and the business and the structure in place for this program to make $1 million in revenue in 2018, from zero to $1 million revenue, okay? And so that's what we're doing right here. So let's get stuck into it first of all. Now, I'm going to do as best I can. It might be a little bit far away from the board to see. By the way, check outside how gorgeous it is today. Don't know if you can see out there, but beautiful view here in Cyprus. Okay, so it makes this a pleasure to do. All right, so where do we start with all this? Okay, the first thing I want to show you is up here in the corner. So I'm going to bring the stand over. Okay, the first thing I want you guys to set out is your vision statement. Okay, you've got to have a clear, compelling vision for the company. Something that's going to inspire you, and not just you, but it's got to inspire all the people on your team, right? Because when you want a $1 million coaching business, you've got to grow a small team around you. You're going to interact with a lot of people. They have to buy into the vision. Your vision can't just be make more money, right? Because that might excite you, but it won't excite your team members to do their best. It won't excite the clients to be part of what you're building, okay? It won't even excite potential investors and shareholders, and that they want to see money, but they want to see that you can do other things too. If you just purely want money, go and invest in Bitcoin, right? But if you want to build a business that has impact and legacy and things like that and makes you fulfilled and fills you up from the inside, you can have a vision, all right? So I like to keep this simple, okay? It's just the ultimate outcome of what you want this business to do for people. So this is the company vision, by the way. I'd also suggest you make a personal vision. So clients inside the Expert Business Blueprint mentoring program, I teach them how to make a personal vision too. And that's what you want the business to do for you, what your lifestyle is like. But this is the company vision, okay? So I'll assume you know your lifestyle goals, you know why you're doing all this. The vision here, as I've put here, is helping coaches, trainers, and professionals grow a $1 million real business with more freedom and fulfillment. Okay, so that's the vision of the Expert Business Blueprint. It's helping coaches and consultants who have already validated their programs, they have momentum, and they're looking to scale things up to high 6 or even 7 figures in revenue. And so that's what the program does, okay? And as I'm showing you, I'm taking my own medicine here and showing you how we're scaling this program up to that level. So this is me doing what I teach, all right? So first, rate your vision statement. The next thing we go down then is to your core values, okay? Now the core values, this is really what you need to have in place to create a culture in your business. So if you've ever worked with a team, if you have a team right now and you see that the team, if there's not much culture in your business, if you have team members that aren't that motivated, they're not that driven, and let's say there's like a mismatch of standards in the company. Your team members don't do things the way you would do them, or don't seem to care as much as you. That is usually down to a lack of core values, or a lack of communicating those core values. So the core values are really, it's how you leave your soul in the company. Because remember, this is about pulling you physically out of the company. Okay, your goals are to create a business that can operate without you doing most of the technical work. So if you're going to remove your presence physically from the business, we want to make sure that we leave your essence in the company, your soul. And that's what the core values is. The core values is your set of guidelines of how you want all the clients and partners, anyone that comes into contact with your company, to be treated. Okay? It's your personal criteria of guidelines. It's like your house rules. Okay, so when you're not home, how do your team treat the guests? Okay, and that's how you want to look at it. So my core values here, I have these expanded somewhere else, but just to give you the one-word definitions, you know, the core values that I base, you know, my team, and I teach my team this all the time, is that we stand for results, we stand for experience. And I'll go through these. So, you know, results and experience, the first thing is, the first core value in full is that in my company, we will apply the highest standards of excellence to help our clients get the results they expect, right? So, I mean, that's going to be number one, because if my business doesn't have that core value and we don't get results for our clients, we're not going to be in business very long, right? Simple as that. So whatever business you have, whether it's a gym or a coaching business or a dentistry or orthopedic practice, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Set your first core value. Experience is our second one. This means relationships. This is, we want to go, it's a core value of ours to go above and beyond and give our clients an experience they did not expect. Okay? So we always want to give the results they do expect and an experience they didn't expect. All right? That builds strong relationships and word of mouth and things like that. The next one we have down here then is responsibility. Okay, one of my core values is to take responsibility as a leader, but also to instill responsibility into each of my team members. I want each of them to take responsibility for their role in the company. I want them to have input on what their goals should be, what their role should be. Okay, because this is how you get your team involved and give them a sense of ownership. Okay, your team always don't need just like more money, more cash. They don't need equity stakes in your company, okay? We think that those things will motivate them more, but it won't. The best thing that will motivate people is responsibility. Give them more responsibility. Let them, you know, set expectations and let them rise up to them. When people feel more responsibility, it gives more fulfillment. And of course, that's how they will help you make more money, and then you can pay them more as a result of that. Okay, but you can't, you know, throw money at people and try to pay them to be more responsible. You have to give them responsibility and then reward them for taking that. Then we have growth and contribution, two more values. Okay, so it's a core value. Anyone in my company has to be growing. If my team members aren't growing daily, spiritually, health, you know, financially, physically, then they're not an asset to my company. I want my team members to be growing because that's what we teach our clients. Okay, take care of your health, take care of your business, take care of your family. You know, just own your shit, basically. So my team members have to do the same thing because my team members are my role models to the clients. You know, and how you interact with your team is how your team will interact with the clients at the end. And then we have abundance and profitability are the last two core values. So abundance is about abundance thinking. I want my team members to think about collaboration, not competition. I want them to have an abundance mindset. And this is really good for your team members to have. It's a good part of your team culture that everyone thinks abundantly. There's more than enough to go around. And this resolves like little spats in the company and things like that. And everyone knows there's equal opportunity to grow and equal responsibility for everyone. And then profitability is a big one, because a lot of companies that are heart-centered or have a big vision often take their eye off the ball when it comes to finances. Now, it's great to have a big impact and a great vision and things like that, but you've also got to remember profitability, because profit is how your business succeeds. And this is not just about making money. It's the fact that a profitable business is a healthy business, and we have to track profitability. And this is a core value because I want all my team to know how important profitability is to the company, because when they can see the knock-on effect that the more profit the company makes, the better off they will be, the more they'll do little things. So you might realize right now there's things in the company that you need doing that the team just aren't doing for you. Like maybe you're trying to get them to make more upsells, or better communicate with customers, or send some clients a nice message. And you know this is profitable. You know if we do these things, clients stay longer, pay us more money, etc. But your team don't necessarily know that. They just think you're giving them busy work to do, right? So they don't see the value in, why am I going to follow up with this lead? Why am I going to go the extra mile for this customer? Why is it so important for me to sell water bottles at this gym? All right, because they don't understand profitability because they're not business owners. So I share with them transparently, this is why all these little tasks add up, and they're so important to the profitability of the company. And I need each of you to do your individual little roles so the company can move forward, and then we have more profitability and more wealth to redistribute and share amongst you guys. And then they get it, right? So it's really important that your team know the importance of company profitability, right? This will really have a trickle-down effect into their daily actions. So that's your core values. And you can see now, guys, this is super important. Vision and core values are two things that 99% of companies, especially coaches, don't build in. And then if you don't, you'll have a ton of problems later on. And you'll be coming back to me saying, Justin, I don't feel inspired in my company. I don't wake up excited. I don't know what I'm really trying to be achieving. You'll say, Justin, I don't know if I should take this opportunity or not. Should I sell this product? Should I make this program? And the problem really is you don't have a vision. You don't have an end goal. If you don't have an end goal, you'll get confused over strategies. You won't know which strategy is the best. You won't know which opportunities are good and which ones are a waste of time because you have no destination. Right? As the cat in Alice in Wonderland says to Alice, when Alice says, I'm lost, which way should I go? And the cat asks her, do you have a destination you want to be? And Alice says, not really. And the cat says, well, it doesn't matter which way you go then. Okay? Most of you guys don't have a vision, don't have an end point. Okay? I'm trying to help coaches, professionals grow $1 million business with more freedom and fulfillment. That is a message. When I read it in the morning, it lights me up, gets me excited. It reminds me, here's why I'm doing this. Okay, when we have tough days, when we get a bit overwhelmed, I just come back to this and say, this is why I'm doing this. And suddenly that inspiration kicks back in and we get started. I also know if opportunities come my way, is it going to help me do this or not? Right? And I can very quickly discern between which opportunities are good, which ones help me do this, and which ones just distract me from it. Same with core values, guys. If you don't nail the core values, you're going to have so much trouble with your team members, right? So you're going to say, my team members don't take any responsibility for anything. Okay, well, if responsibility is something that you value, have you told them it's a core value? Have you hired people based on them sharing that responsibility? Because my team are hired based on these core values. Okay, I tell them, these are what we value. Great results, great experience, profitability, responsibility, growth. If they're not in line with those things, they don't get a job working with me. Right? So same with you. If you don't know this criteria, how do you know who to hire into your company? You'll hire people that don't demonstrate these things, and then you'll wonder why you've got problems, right? So, look at the areas your team members might be letting you down right now, and realize that simply shows a window for a new core value to be created. So yeah, if they're not taking personal responsibility, say, right, we are going to make responsibility a core value, and go and talk to your team about that. And if they accept that and they're on board, great. If they don't accept that, then you need to get rid of them and find somebody else. So your core values keep your team in check. It's how you know the right culture and people know what to do, because we hire for personality and we train for skill. And hiring for personality means, are the people in line with your core values? If they are, this is how you'll just dissolve 90% of team problems, right? With those core values. That's how you do it. So vision and core values are going to set a solid foundation for you now to build a company. If you don't do these two things, that's why you're building a company on quicksand, and you might get some momentum and growth right now, but the cracks will get bigger as you go along, as some of you will have noticed already. All right. Now, next thing I do then is over this side, I now outline my Expert Business Blueprint core syllabus. Okay, there's 5 modules in my EBB program. They are identity level transformation, setting vision and objectives, operations and finance, asset management, and growth strategy. These are the 5 steps to grow $1 million company as a coach, consultant, or trainer. And so I put this here basically to remind myself. So this is, this org chart is up in my office. So if I ever get stuck or I get confused or I can't think of what to write, I can't think of what content to make, I just simply look at my modules again and realize, okay, what I want to share with people is one of these 5 things. Okay, so for example, today, this video, this is right here, operations and finance. So org chart is about operations, okay, because we've set visions and objectives already. Creating an org chart is how you start operations, a structure in your company. So I put this there, so you might do it with yourself. If you help people lose weight, for example, what are the pillars of your methodology? Is it, metabolic exercise, healthy nutrition, accountability, and mindset, for example? If that's your 4 pillars, put them in front of you so that you are always reminded to stay on focus, and your content is always focused on those 3 to 5 things. So you might have like a 5-step methodology like mine. It could be 4 steps, 3 steps, whatever it might be. So that's just there kind of for me. Now we start the actual org chart, okay? So starts at the top. The first position in the company is the shareholder. This is the owner of the company. So we're going to walk through an org chart right now. You can do it with me if you like. So this is how I do it. We start with the shareholder, okay? That's the owner, the investor in the company. Not the person that runs it, it's the investor, okay? You can own a company but not run it, okay? So you create the title, and then in brackets below in that box, put the name of the person who's currently doing it, all right? Very important. So I've got shareholder, Justin. I'm 100% owner of this company, so my name isn't there. If you look at my org charts for one of my other companies where I'm in a partnership, we would have 2 boxes for shareholders, okay? So for example, in one of my businesses, which is a partnership of 2 people owning a gym, then there would be 2 shareholder boxes, me and my business partner's name, okay? So if you're a partnership right now, there'll be 2 shareholders, okay? But if it's just you, there's just 1 shareholder. Then we come down and there's CEO of the company, okay? The Chief Executive Officer. This is ultimately the leader of the company, okay? The person that takes the reins and leads this vision, okay? Now, same thing. If you have more than one of you in the company, in fact, drop a comment. If you're in a partnership, let me know in the comments. But even if you are a partnership, there can only really be 1 CEO, okay? One person should take ultimate responsibility, okay? Whereas your partner should then do something else, right? So the CEO is the person that brainstorms ideas, who leads the team, who is like the brand ambassador, the person that goes out there and sells the business to other people and sells the idea of what we're doing. So, you know, if you're like in a fitness business, maybe you go out there and you want to get a sponsorship deal with Nike or Under Armour. That's the CEO, and you can go out there and get those meetings, all right? And the CEO will just generally report and have a look at how the whole company is doing, okay? The different departments, which we'll get to in a minute. Below that, you've got COO, all right? Chief Operating Officer. Now, the COO is kind of like the overall manager of the company. This is the position that's a little more left-brained, more logical, more organized. And the COO basically collects reports from all the different departments: marketing, sales, fulfillment. All these the heads of those departments will send their reports to the COO. The COO then analyzes those numbers. It looks at how is marketing doing, how is sales doing, how is fulfillment doing, and then the COO gives that feedback to the CEO. Okay, and it gives it to the CEO in terms the CEO can understand and do something with. So the CEO can make all the tough decisions then. So the COO might say, hey, CEO, we've got a problem with marketing. Okay, we should be getting 100 leads a week, but we're only getting 50. And our Facebook account keeps getting flagged, right? What do we do? So the CEO can take that data and go, okay, how about we do this? And then the COO will go and tell that to the marketing team, right? The boss says we should do this instead, right? If you've got a very competent COO, they can actually make decisions on behalf of the CEO too. That just depends on how large your organization is. But for the companies of the size we're probably dealing with here, you know, you'll probably be the CEO and COO to begin with. Like in this company, I am right now. I'm both of these roles, right? Because we've only got a team of about 5 to 10 people, so we can handle it. What I have below that though is, you can see here, an executive assistant. And my executive assistant is like the right-hand person, right? It's like my project manager, the person that keeps everyone else organized. Now, your executive assistant is probably one of the first hires you might make. This is someone that's just going to keep you in charge, track some of your finances, keep you accountable, answer your emails, manage your scheduling, links and calendars, things like that. Bit like a gatekeeper, like a very, very high-level administrative person. And the exec assistant could potentially become the COO a bit later in their career. They can be progressed up to COO level if you feel they can take enough responsibility for all the departments, right? So right now I'm the COO. I operate all the, I oversee all the departments in the business. My executive assistant, she's just started. She'll help me out with tasks and help me organize things, help me file things, help me document things. And ultimately, my goal is to, move out of COO role and have her or someone else take over that role. Okay, and then we go down to the actual departments of the companies. We have distribution or marketing. We have sales, conversion, fulfillment and operations. This is serving the customers and the communication of it all. Team development. How do we recruit and grow our team? That might be called human resources in other places, and admin and finance and legal and boring shit, basically, that you probably don't want to do. Okay, so first of all, guys, any feedback, drop any questions below. Before we get into these departments, I'm now going to quickly take you through the objectives. Okay, so we set visions, we set core values. The next thing we do is set actual quantifiable objectives for the company. All right, so based on what you want your own personal goals to be and what you want the company to do, here are some of my goals for this program. Okay, so the first objective, number 1, is $1 million in revenue within 12. I should say that's 2018. So $1 million in revenue in 12 months. That's our financial goal for the company. Okay, now here's the thing, guys. When you're going from, Jeff says this is really great content. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. So here's a big difference, guys. If you're below 6 figures, if you haven't broken 10K a month yet, you will probably only have a revenue goal, which is make 6 figures, right? And you know what? That's okay, because I think a lot of people give the 6-figure goal a bad name. They say, you know, don't aim for just 6 figures, have bigger goals, make more impact. And you know what? I kind of think that's bullshit, because when you're first starting up, before 6 figures, you're in the startup phase of business. And I think if you set too many, if you set these big visions of I'm going to change the world, I'm going to feed 5 million children, and you try and do Tony Robbins shit, then I think it's very hard, because when you're starting up a business for the first time, then you've got a lot of scarcity in your mind. You have, right? It's a lot of scarcity there because you haven't validated it yet, and that's fine. So what happens is, if you try and set these big, change the world abundance goals, they don't last very long, because your mind is too concerned with, I've got to pay the bills. We've just got to get some cash flow, right? And I think that's the right way to think about it. I think you should just focus on you've got to help people, but you've got to focus on getting the cash flow in. If you're starting out, if you're not making 6 figures yet, your head's probably too much in the clouds. You want to change the world and you want to do these big things. No, if you're not making 6 figures, not making 100K a year yet, you need to get out there and get cash. You need to go and help people and make sales. And that's all you should focus on, because this is the validation stage. You're just validating, will people buy my product or service? And will they stay and keep paying me? Is it good? Does it get results? Because if you haven't got that, you ain't going to do any of this, right? This is really for people that are making 6 figures or very close. You're making at least $5,000 a month from your service, which tells us it's pretty much validated. People are buying it. People do want it. People do like it. Now you're ready to scale up, because more people want it, but you don't know how to serve them without giving your life away. So now we build a real company around it that can scale up, serve more people, whilst keeping you with freedom. Okay, so below 6 figures, the point is you might only set a revenue goal, like make 10K a month in sales, and that's fine. But at this level, scaling above $60,000 a year or $100,000 a year, you need to have other objectives in place, right? Because things change now, okay? Things are very different. Making 6 figures as a coach is just a job. It's a glorified job, right? You have very low expenses, very high profits, not many other things to juggle. It's just you, your gym facility, or your Skype or Zoom, and your clients, right? Now it's very different. So we set a revenue goal, but remember, revenue is not income. By the way, revenue is not income. If you make 100K revenue as a coach, you might take 80K in revenue and income. But now that's not going to be the case. Sorry to burst the bubble, right? So we also say, my second goal is to have a 40% pre-tax profit, okay? So now I'm setting a profit target goal, because when you start scaling up, remember, scale costs money. It costs money now to bring a team in, to hire an assistant, to bring a marketing person on board, to bring a sales team on. If you want that freedom, it's going to cost you money. Freedom isn't free. So you're going to now pay more money, and therefore you're going to be lowering your profit margins. So, a 6-figure coach can make 90% profit margins maybe, but going to 7 figures, you're not going to make that kind of profit. So I've set a 40% pre-tax profit goal. So I'll make 40% profit, then there's tax, and then whatever left is then profit for the company. Now I'm also taking a salary out of the company, so the profit is not my income either. Profit is not my income. This is 40% profit after I've paid myself a monthly salary. Okay, because I'm doing CEO and COO. I'm doing 2 very important roles here. I'm gonna get paid for that shit, right? So that's the first thing. And inside my program, we teach the guys. I teach you inside the blueprint how to set your own salary, how to quantify what it should be, and how to pay yourself first. So you're not just taking the scraps at the end of the month, but you actually get paid first, and then you're financially stable, and then you can focus on building a proper company. The next goal I have, objective, is a 9 out of 10 NPS and ENPS score. Okay, so this objective now is to do with fulfillment. A new objective, because we're serving a lot more clients now, it's harder to keep your finger on the pulse. Okay, if you're a 6-figure coach with 10 clients paying you $1,000 a month each, it's pretty easy. You'll know people are happy and satisfied. But when you start serving 200, 300, or 1,000 customers, you can very quickly lose touch of reality of what's really going on. And you might think everything is going great because the money is coming in, but really your customers might not have a clue, right? They might not really be happy. So NPS stands for Net Promoter Score. You can look it up on Google. It's a test that was created by some people that is widely regarded as one of the most accurate ways to tell your customers' level of satisfaction. So it's like a survey that you give your customers, and the NPS score is how happy they are. So 10 out of 10 is the best, 1 is the lowest, or 0 is the lowest. So I've set a target of a 9 out of 10 NPS score. So when I survey the clients inside the Expert Business Blueprint program, I want to make sure we're getting 9 out of 10 happiness scores. That tells us that, yeah, we're making sales, great, but our customers are also happy and willing to refer people, okay? That's the NPS score. The ENPS is the employee net profit score. So just like I want my clients to be happy and to stay with the company, I want my team members to be happy and stay with the company, right? We all know how frustrating it is when a team member leaves, we train them up, the clients love them, and then they walk out. That's generally because they're not satisfied in the company and they feel that doing it on their own would be more beneficial than doing it with you. And again, that's down to having no vision, no core values, and no objective to keep them happy either. So I want to get a 9 out of 10 team member net promoter score too. I'll survey my team members anonymously, and I want to make sure they're happy with the company, okay? And they would refer people they know to come and work for us and be part of the EBB team as well, right? So if that's important to you, you've got to quantifiably put an objective down for it, okay? And we do surveys, and that gives us that score, which my exec assistant can then track for us. Now, another goal, another objective, number 4, is minus 10% refunds. Okay, so another goal of mine at this level is to reduce refunds, because you know how it is when you scale up your service offering, you're going to get more refunds, more chargebacks, more people slip through the net and come into the program that weren't qualified. So my goal, especially if you're charging higher price, the Expert Business Blueprint is a $5,000 program. So the higher price like that, you'll tend to get more refunds as people maybe thought they could afford it but couldn't, and have doubts and things like that. So we want to make sure that we maintain less than 10% refund rate. If the refunds start going above 10%, we know we've got a fulfillment and operations problem somewhere, all right? So looking at the refund rates is a good indicator for us of something that we're doing right or wrong. And then task number 5 is what I call outsource COO and below. Right? COO and below. That should be your goal. That should be virtually everyone's goal. So what I mean by that is, as we're doing all this stuff, as we're building $1 million revenue, we're opening up those profit margins, we're getting those NPS scores, we're getting the low refund rates, I'm also going to be working on outsourcing my COO role and everything below it. So that means, see my name's here, I want to outsource this role by the end of the year, and I want to outsource anything I'm doing in these departments. So anything COO and below, I will not be doing by the end of the year. So that means I will purely be the CEO of the company and the shareholder, right? So that's my 5th objective. Now this just keeps me on track all the time. And one thing you might notice here, guys, I want to draw your attention to that's very different to other trainings you might get on Facebook. You see, a lot of marketing and sales training you get online is geared towards below six-figure earners. So you don't see this kind of thing because, you know, going six figures plus is a whole different ball game. And that's why, you know, virtually very few people actually teach this stuff. And so the one thing to notice here, guys, is that these goals are 12-month objectives. These goals aren't going to happen in a 90-day sprint or in a 14-day challenge, right? And that's why I laugh at all that stuff I see online, like 90-day sprint to meet your business goals. Well, that's not going to happen for a real company, okay? You know, Apple want to dominate the mobile phone space. They're not going to do it in a 30-day sprint and destroy Samsung and all the competitors, right? It's like a 5-year plan. So with a business below six figures, you can do 90-day this, 90-day that, you know, 30-day goals, because you've just got to do little things to get that six-figure income. But now the company is bigger. When you're doing over 60,000 a year and you want to take it to you want to take it to $1 million or 100,000 a month, that's when your goals are set in stone for a lot longer. You know, the only way I have 30-day targets is by taking these big 1-year targets and dividing them by 12, right? So, you know, like for example, you know, my $1 million revenue, we can break that down into an average monthly target of about 100K a month is what we want to make, right? If I'm making 100K a month consistently, I know I'm on pace to make the 1 million. If we're making consistently 40% profit every month, if I do a monthly net promoter score survey and we get 8s and 9s out of 10, I know that's good. So these goals are just solid 1-year goals. And I just track every 30 days. I'm just tracking, are we on pace for this goal or are we not on pace? That's simply it. So, you know, in my program, the Expert Business Blueprint, you don't see a lot of like 90-day sprints and little mini goals, because that's just little shit that keeps you distracted, okay? If you want to build a real big company, there's going to be goals that you have to play the long game. You have to say these 5 bullet points is all I'm focused on for 12 months. That's the hard part. It's simple, but that's the hard part people can't do. They can't focus on that because they want to launch a program or do a new course or do a joint venture or chase all these shiny objects, right? But I know my vision and I know my objectives. If I do these 5 things, my vision becomes a reality. And so everything I do every day, that's why this is in front of me, and that's why a whiteboard and an org chart is so important, because it keeps you focused on what has to be done day in, day out, day in, day out. It's boring, it's not sexy, right? But this is the reality of growing a big company, okay? Things shouldn't be that exciting and different, right? So, but you have excitement doing these things, right? But you shouldn't need to keep chasing shiny objects. So that's it. That's my objectives for the whole year. So let's break down quickly. Let's finish off by breaking down the 5 departments here. So what I'm going to do at this stage, I'm going to pop you guys down here. I am now going to, the next part of our org chart as we create this, you have the 5 departments, again, marketing, distribution, sales, fulfillment, team development, and admin and finance. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set a goal for each of these departments. So you can now break your business down into 5 key areas and know that each of the areas has its own objectives, which are based on these pretty much. So I'm going to use a red for this. So let's look at the first objective, okay? Making $1 million revenue. Which of these departments would you say is most linked to that? I know it's a holistic approach and everyone has to do their job, but if you had to put that goal of 1 million revenue in any one of these boxes, which one would it be? Drop your comments if you think you know. Okay, so I'm going to put this revenue target is going to go into sales. right? So let's break that down. What is it going to take to make $1 million revenue according to sales? Well, it's going to take an average of 20 sales a month. It's a $5,000 program. Yeah, there are upsells and I have different programs on offer, but I'm not going to count those. That will be bonus revenue, okay? So I'm just going to take the core program, $5,000, and we need to sell an average of 20 a month. 20 a month is $100,000. If we do that every month on average, we got it. So yeah, Jeff has got it right, sales. So here is going to be, the target is going to be 20 times 5K sales per month. Okay, and now we're also going to set a sales conversion target. So I've got a sales team who will be handling this, and we have discussed and we believe that they can do an average of 20% sales conversion. So if they talk to 5 prospects, they will convert 1. So to get 20 sales a month, okay, so we're going to need a 20% sales conversion. So that's our sales conversion goal. So now you know, guys, this puts things into perspective for you. So when people ask me on the group, we're converting 10% of calls into sales. Is that good? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Have you made your org chart? No. Well, I can't tell if it's good or not, right? I can only tell you how good it is in relation to your goals and your resources. So our goal is 20 sales of 5K a month, and a 20% conversion rate is the goal. If we're making 25% conversions, great, we'll be above target. If the guy is only making 15% sales, we've got to work on something. Either work on their sales system, or work on the qualification process, or make the offer better, or whatever it might be. So that's sales, right? That's the main 2 sales goals, all right? Next, profit, okay? So profit can also be I'll put that in fulfillment and operations, okay? This could be argued, and some of you might think differently, but I think profit comes in fulfillment and operations, because revenue is different to profit. Revenue is about those hard sales. The profit margins are going to come by you and the team increasing income wherever you can across the board, and also by cutting costs slightly across the board without sacrificing quality. So I think that's a fulfillment thing, right? I think if the team are doing their work, serving the customers, making upsells, referrals, maximizing client value, that's the biggest profit booster I know, is maximizing the value of each client. They come in at 5K, but can we actually make an extra 2K per client per year? That's going to come from maximizing client value, retentions, referrals, upsells, and your team have to do that in the fulfillment stage. All right, so that's why I put profit there. And operations is more about being conservative and where can we cut down on things, right? Do we have to, spend $100 a month on printer ink? Can we go to another provider and pay $80 a month and save $20, right? Can we cancel half of the subscriptions we have? Do we need ClickFunnels and lead pages and Unbounce and ActiveCampaign and Infusionsoft? Or can we just strike those off, go to WordPress and save $500 a month? So I put profit margin widening in fulfillment and operations. But again, other business coaches might say differently. They might put it under sales. It is hard to box it in because it is a team effort again, but just bear with me and this will make it easier for you, okay? We know the business is holistic and works together, but not to go crazy, we need some level of organization, all right? Same in fitness, a bench press is like a full upper body exercise, but you're gonna put it into chest and arms, right? It's not technically true, but it allows us to organize. So next, NPS scores, okay? So we're gonna have NPS, the first one is gonna be under fulfillment, okay? If the team do a good job of fulfilling the customers, we get a high NPS score. And the team development, the eNPS will go into team development. So are we developing the team properly? So a 9 out of 10 EPS score goes under my team development program and my department here for growing and appreciating my team members. Minus 10% refunds, that's going to be fulfillment and operations as well. So my refund goal goes there. And then outsourcing. That, the outsourcing, that's more of a general thing as well. That's going to be down to operations too, so, and team development. It could be between these two. So this depends where you are in the company right now. If you're still doing technical work, if you're still doing all the technical work serving customers, then you need to outsource fulfillment first. So you put that in that box. If you already outsource fulfillment and you're just being like a manager and you want more freedom and to build a manager in, then you'll be more in team development, okay? So you can put that wherever you like. So some other goals then we have, distribution, okay? So marketing is lead generation, okay? So there's tons of goals you can have, like build an audience, build our email list, whatever. But ultimately, the only goal of marketing is to get a number of leads. Right? How many leads do we need? Well, we've already worked out I need 20 sales a month and we have a 20% sales conversion. So that tells me how many leads we have to generate. So, I'm going to need a calculator here, but basically, so if we want 20 sales, we've got to get 5 times more, so we need 100 leads a month. See what I'm saying here, guys? So my distribution goals are 100 applications a month for the program. Simple as that, guys, right? So now my marketing is focused, right? Yes, I can try and build an audience. Yes, I can get featured in media and all these kind of things. They're great things that will contribute to this, but you have to know the ultimate outcome. Otherwise, you're just pissing in the wind, right? So this is how I stay so focused, right? Distribution goal is get 100 applications. Okay? Sales target then is we turn 20% of those applications into 5K paying customers. Okay? Then the fulfillment team come in and we boost profits and reduce costs. And then the team development, we're building on making the team better. And we've got admin and finance, which is just kind of, you might have some goals there, like maybe set up an offshore company, set up an offshore company or whatever else your goals might be in that position. Now, we can now start putting the rest of these roles in. So, distribution, you're going to have paid ads, okay? So, who's your person for that, okay? Maybe you have a Facebook person. So I'll put, we've got Facebook ads. So my team, I've got Mike, who does that. Okay, so Mike is on the paid Facebook ads. We've got Google ads or YouTube ads. Okay, and I've got Dan Blinman who does that. All your organic, maybe you've got organic marketing. So think of all the ways you get leads, okay? Organically, your organic Facebook group, YouTube page, whatever. Organic Facebook group, okay? I'll put mine in there because I make the content for my Facebook group. I'm doing this right now. This is a job I'm doing in the company, right? I'm making organic content. So you can list all the roles there. Sales, okay? Sales are going to be people that build the websites and funnels. Okay, like a web developer. And we have Alex, who does that for us. He's my web developer. And then we've got closing appointments. Okay, the sales guys. And I've got Jeremy Pope and his team. We have a sales team on board. So Jeremy handles all the closing for us. Fulfillment then, okay. We've got the client work. So you've got your coaches. Okay, I've got a team of coaches and experts. You can list those there. And then we've got a community manager is an important part. someone, you know, your relationships person. I've got Eva for that. Eva, our lovely community manager here in the group, handles all the client inquiries and stuff like that. Team development, okay, so here, head VP of team development, that's me, okay, that's where I like to be right now. I'm in charge of leading and growing my team. And admin and finance, that will be Roxy. She has this kind of, I've put this into exec assistant right now, so Roxy's has kind of swallowed this entire role over there. Okay, and that's how we have it, guys. And now you know, everyone knows the purpose, okay? So Mike and Dan and me and everyone doing marketing. Also got William doing LinkedIn for us. You know, we've got LinkedIn, got William Coe doing that for us. Okay, so we have a big team here in marketing. So we've got 100 fucking leads to get every month, right? So I need a big team on this shit, right? So all these guys know the goal. They're like, right, together we have to produce 100 applications. Jeremy then, and Alex, and I've also got like our copywriter, Franz, doing the sales copy, right? Franz and Alex know the website funnel has to get a certain number of opt-ins and applications. And then Jeremy and his team know when they get the phone call, they've got to close that number of leads. Then my coaches, who are also some of these guys too, they know the program has got to perform at a certain level. Eva, being the community manager, knows we've got to build good relationships, get good feedback, get those NPS scores. And then I am over here working on growing the team, doing team retreats, team check-in calls, team meetings, putting them on programs and helping them, and so on. All right, guys, so I'm going to bring this over here because I need to plug in, get some battery. Don't want to die on you guys. All right, so there we go. All right, guys, so that's pretty much the overview on there. Love to know, guys, if you have any questions, send them through to me right now. Don't want to take up too much of your time, but that's the overview of this, guys, and that's pretty much it. So you've seen it's taken us like 45 minutes or so, and I've literally mapped out my org chart for the entire year, okay? What you do after this point is you can take each of those roles, like marketing manager, Facebook ads manager, Google ads manager, community manager, sales team, sales copywriter. Take all of those job positions and start making a job description for each of them. Okay, so if one of those people ever left, they will have left their recipe behind. Think of this, right? Like, think if you have a restaurant and you hire a great chef and they come in and cook an amazing steak, right? You want to get that chef. Either the chef is following a recipe that you gave them already because you've been a chef and you've got a great recipe everyone loves, or you brought them in and they had their own way of doing things. Whatever it is, you want to get that recipe documented, because if that chef leaves and you haven't got the recipe, what happens, right? Just put the stand down here. What happens, right? If they leave and you haven't got the recipe, then that job role cannot function anymore. So either you create your own recipe and you document it from your head. You know, you have a way of doing things. You have a way of coaching people through mindset challenges. You have a way of setting up Facebook campaigns. You have a way of getting people in shape through a group or a one-to-one program. It doesn't matter what it is. You have a way of doing things. You need to document that, process it out, and give that then to the person that can take over that role for you. All right, it's not as complicated as it seems. If it feels hard and you feel resistance, it's just you getting in your own way. And I would advise you go and explore that and get some professional guidance with that. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna check over here if we have any comments. But I think that was a pretty good live stream. I think that we covered a lot there. And again, guys, if you are in the Expert Business Blueprint program, we go into this stuff in a lot more depth. Like, we map out all of this step by step by step for you in tutorials and really put it all together. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And this will set you up for a great year, because now I've got this on the board in front of me. That's it. I can just look at that. I can just look at that right now and be like, boom, that's my stuff to focus on. That's what has to happen. If all the individual people achieve the individual department goals, the bigger objective is met, and then my vision is met. And more importantly, if we live true to our core values every step of the way, that's how we find fulfillment now, before the outcomes are met. The most important thing is everyone on the team is focused on results, experience, responsibility, growth, contribution, abundance, and profitability. Then we can just honestly say we've done our best. If we fall short of that $1 million revenue target for this program, who cares, right? It's not the end of the world, but it's better to say that we lived by our core values and our team developed and we had structure and organization, and then you can learn from it. If you don't hit that target, you can learn. But what most entrepreneurs do is they just bump and bob their way through the year, jumping from tactic to strategy to tactic to project to plan to strategy to product. They just bounce themselves around to the end of the year. They don't hit their goals, but they can't even look back and see why they didn't hit the goals, because they weren't even following a plan, right? Now, UFIT pros know this, if a client comes into you and says, I've been trying to lose weight for a year, but I can't do it, and they've had no plan, you say, what was your plan? And they say, well, I tried Atkins for 3 weeks, then I did Weight Watchers for a month, then I did CrossFit for 2 months, then I gave up for 2 months, then I did this. You can say, well, you didn't succeed because you didn't follow a plan. Simple as that, right? You had no intentions, you had no clear daily rituals. So the same goes for you. So whatever field you're in, if you're an osteopath, fitness pro, business marketing consultant, mindset coach, it's the same thing. Your clients don't get results when they don't follow the proven plan. You're not getting results in your business because first it's an identity thing. Remember, step number one in my five-step thing is identity. First thing is you've got to look at is your identity. Okay, you're thinking like a solopreneur. You're thinking in terms of scarcity. Your ego is defining your decisions. All you're focused on is, can I make some more money, right? You're not thinking like a true entrepreneur of like, how do I build a company? How do I play the long game? Okay, how do I give value to all the people that want to work for me? Not how do I just get value out of them, right? How do I contribute more? How do I grow more? When you change that identity and you change your beliefs around that, that's when these things will start falling into place, okay? And all the structure I've provided here just lets you do that more smoothly, all right? Okay, you've got a great comment from Jeff, says this is amazing, this will change my 2018. Not bad for day one of 2018, huh? Thank you for going and giving all a kickstart with laser focus. All right, Jeff, okay, and you're in the program, so you've got plenty more resources to work with, but the rest of you guys, I hope this has helped you, and enjoy this year, no matter what happens. This is kind of like my New Year message, all right? Use this plan. This is the best, I guarantee, this is the best free advice you'll be given anywhere on the interwebs in the next 12 months. I guarantee it. All right. And if you want to join the Expert Business Program, we can set up an interview to see if you're a good fit for the program. If you'd like to set up an interview and find out more, just send me a message, and one of our program coordinators will be in touch with you pretty soon. Okay. So again, thanks guys. Get this done. Watch this video another 1 or 2 times if you need to. And use this group, ask any questions, and if you really want to get results, if you really want to stop fucking around, talk to me about joining the Expert Business Blueprint program, because it will change your business and change your life in the next 12 months, guaranteed. All right guys, this is Justin, and I will chat to you soon.